Hi. Okay, so I am going to do an unpacking video instead of a packing video because I have watched so many of packing videos online and they have been wonderful and so helpful. Started last year when I went to Scotland and I really wanted to go in just a carry-on and a personal item. So I watched lots of videos, learned lots of things, and then kind of found when I got there, things were a little different. So I did want to make a video to show what worked and what didn't. I did feel like a lot of the things I did worked. However, it's important to say, even though I went in a carry-on, and well, this is actually, I have a picture. So this is what it looked like. This is what I brought on the plane. So I had a mono suitcase. I have this backpack, a Love Book backpack. I think it's a 17-inch one, so the bigger one. The yellow thing is my raincoat. Attached to my backpack is my denim jacket that I wanted to fit that didn't fit in the suitcase. This all worked. I wore the denim jacket on the plane along with one of these travel vests. So this one is the Scotty vest, and I definitely recommend a vest with a lot of pockets for traveling. However, it is important, the more you put in it, it is heavy. It's heavy to walk in and you can feel the weight of those items. I did have a crossbody bag as well that I did have to stick into a pocket because if I had the crossbody bag along with this and the other, I likely wouldn't have gotten on the plane because I watched her stopping people. And I had this so stuffed that I couldn't have fit it in here. So I was really happy to have this vest. If there's time, I'll go through what I had in some of these pockets. But it's important to say on the way home, I ended up like packing a small pack up tote. This is a Rick Steves one that packs in this little thing. But I came home with this and I checked this and checked the bag. It did include any gifts that I bought or anything that I did buy over on the trip. This trip was in Scandinavia in July, where I went to Sweden, Denmark, and Norway, and it was beautiful and wonderful. And I felt like I had the right clothes for their weather during this time, and I did it in the carry-on, but it is important to say once I got there, I really was working out of the 3 bags. I was working out of the suitcase, this backpack, that big bag where I would travel to the different hotels. And then I had a roll-up backpack that was more of my everyday backpack that I would use along with that crossbody. Okay, so I'm going to kind of share with you what I have. So raincoat was key. So a packable raincoat, it was great. This is a travel belt that I bought from Amazon that one of the influencers I watched use. So this is helpful because you could attach some things off of here. All right, in this bag in the front, I'll just put it over, and advice that like I said, I had gotten from a lot of people is just, have your liquids. I am TSA and I have all the things, but when you're international, some of their airports, the TSA doesn't matter. So you still have to have all of your liquids in something like this. So this is part of the tripped gear. And I have that right in the front pocket, so it's easy to grab. And then I created something for my front pocket in the airplane. And so this is a from Travel-On. And inside here I had my Kindle. I ended up not bringing my iPad this time around, and it's fine because I actually didn't need it. This is a flex flap that I absolutely love. I use this when I'm reading my Kindle, so when I was on the bus, on the plane, anytime, this is a nice way to make it hands-free, and it packs really easy because it packs flat. So that was in here. And then I also, on the plane, which is kind of empty now, but anything I thought I would need on the plane was just this little cheap little bag I got at Target. And inside here were things that I thought I might need on the plane. So wet ones, some hair ties, these magic cloths I love. So they turn into washcloths. When you're traveling in Europe, they don't have face cloths anywhere. So these pack very nice and then can be used as a face cloth that you need. And then I had the little different medicine and some other things in here that I've really used up, but this was very helpful. And then when you get to your seat, I put this quickly, I put my suitcase up and then I put this also up because there was room that I was able to put this so I didn't have to put it under my seat. But I pulled this out quickly. Which also had a lot of those supplies as well. Some face wipes and you know, some hand lotion and things like that that I would pull out of the toiletry bag that's in here. And so these things always, I stayed in here, and these are kind of the everyday little things that I needed. Then I had I ended up packing 2 tech pouches. One that would be more for the plane for an American plugs and different chargers that I thought I would need, and some backup lithium batteries. So this is the one from my Nomad Lane bag. And then this one was from the Love Book bag, and this one is where I kept at least one of my cords to be able to use in there. Also, my main toiletry bag. This is also a trip travel bag. This one does attach to this one. So when you're hanging it, it does kind of attach here, but I did pack them separately. And this is just the main toiletry bag, and I love this one. This is also from Trips Travel. Also in here, I had my journal. I also had my Rick Steves travel book, which as I went to different destinations, I would tear out those pages and bring them, so I don't have that anymore. This was a side-by-side piece that I use. You can put your passport in, kind of like a little wallet. You could put it here. I more kept this in my crossbody, but that's in here. This is something I bought on the way home, another bag, but this shows like Bergen. And so that fit in here on the way home. This is an awesome, I forget what you call it, but this is something that I like to have in hotel rooms. It packs really flat, but you can put this on your bedside table and keeps all of your belongings in there. I got this on Amazon. And let's see. Oh, so on the way there, I had packed this, which is my cashmere cardigan sweater, and I put this here to keep on the plane if I needed it was a cold. I definitely wore this on the way over, not on the way back. And I also had in here another bag that had, which is now in the kind of laundry bag, extra bag, but I did bring an extra pair of clothes in case for some reason my carry-on got checked and they only let me take this on, because I've heard that happens. So I did put in there an extra pair of underwear, a pair of thin waterproof pants that I have, a t-shirt, and then a merino wool long sleeve shirt, which right now is all kind of in the dirty clothes section here. But I did pack that and this in here as well. There was room for that because I had a little extra room coming home because I did check some of the things. But in here is and I highly recommend a light cashmere cardigan for a great layer when you're traveling in Europe, depending on where you go in Europe. So for Scotland, that was necessary. For Scandinavia, it was. If I went to Italy, that wouldn't have been as necessary. Medicine, my daily medicine would be in here. An extra lithium battery was in here. This was the little Rick Steves travel book where you take the thick one and then just take out the pages that you needed. So that was here. My compression socks, sunglasses, a change coin purse that I kind of keep lotion and some other little things in there. These from Travel On are also great. This is the only jewelry I brought were different earrings, and then I included in here little individual bags of like medicine, band-aids, emergency, anything like that I might need. And what else is in here for the way home? And like I said, all these things were great. So I think that's everything. It was, in here I had my black water bottle, my Owala water bottle, which is also excellent, that I would keep here on the side. This was very, very packed on the way there. It definitely was lighter on the way home since I put a lot more in there. But this backpack, like I said, is a Love Book one. Again, raincoat necessary. This is the 17-inch bag, and it really came in handy. A lot of organization inside in these different pockets. And it was really great to be able to quickly put this down, pull out my liquids, pull out the things that I wanted in the front, and then I had kept this kind of right at the top so I can pull all that out and put that quickly in the pocket. Okay, so next was this great bag, and I think a lot of people have the foldies and such, but I had already had this from Rick Steves from years ago, and it folded really nice. And this was in, I had it in the carry-on on the way there. And like I said, day 2 in, I had already started using it just to make it easier for like my packing. So everything wasn't so tight in there, and it really was great. So I definitely recommend, especially for a plus size person, when you have clothes that, you know, when all the videos you're watching, people are rolling them, they just don't fit the same when your clothes are bigger. And so things are in there very tight. So sometimes rolling worked, sometimes it didn't. Sometimes compression cubes work, sometimes they don't. For this trip, I really only had 2 compression cubes and then an Eagle Creek Fold It, which I'll share with you. This was a bag that folded flat. This currently is all of my dirty laundry is in here. So this was great to have. And then I would just kind of put it in here because it seals up. This is another item from Tripped that I highly recommend. And then basically in here, so this was another compression. So this was the thing I used for the airplane on the way there with my extra pair of clothes. During the entire 2 weeks of the trip, I would just store my pajamas in here. My pajamas and like had some worn socks. And I would use this, so then it would just be in here and out each night. So that made it very convenient where I didn't have to repack my pajamas. But on the way home, my pajamas are now in the dirty laundry. So in here, I put in some of the things that I had in the love book on the way there that I knew I wouldn't need for the plane, which was some sunblock, powder sunblock. Oh, my fan, I think, just turned on. So portable little fan that I actually didn't really use at all, but I do highly recommend this as well. This I bought for this trip because I hoped I was going to be able to do my hair a little bit more. It's a portable round brush. Day 2, it really snarled my hair up and I really didn't use this. I almost was going to leave it there, but I ended up having it for it. In here I have, so I always bring in an extension cord. So someone that I follow has also recommended that. If I can figure out how to do it, I'll put the links of all these people I follow where you can follow their links to buy these things because, you know, they really have great ideas. So this, having an extension cord in Europe is important because sometimes the plugs are nowhere near your bedside. On this trip, Scotland, I use this all the time. This trip, I actually didn't need it as much for Scandinavia because they did have plugs, except for one hotel I stayed in didn't have one near. But I ended up still not using this. But it doesn't pack. I would bring it again still, because it doesn't take up a lot of room, and it has so many, you know, plugs where you could put your like C cord in there and then your A1, so it works really well. This is another adapter from Epica that I ended up using just the one, but this one is also really good. I always bring 2 just in case I have a lot of things to charge. And so I did bring this, but really didn't use that. This has some dry shampoo inside it, powder dry shampoo. And then just a pick for my hair. So I packed it up, you know, for the way home. And then in here I have my denim jacket, eye mask, which again was in the backpack, but on the way home, I didn't really need it. Some more, like, so again, my pajamas are in here. So like I said, some other clothes, like dirty clothes, I kind of use this for. Okay, so this, you may have seen, I don't know if you saw in the picture I showed, this was the neck pillow, okay? But this was one of those neck pillows it's basically extra clothes inside here because I'm not really a neck pillow person, but it is a way to get some more things on the plane. And I had this hanging off that. And inside here I brought a bathing suit because I was hoping to be able to get to one of the spas there, and you never know like what it's going to bring. In Scotland, it came in handy having my suit, but I ended up actually not needing it. And this really stayed in that bag the whole time. But in here were a couple of kimonos that I brought to wear with the black merino dress that I had that might change up the outfits a little bit for some color. I actually ended up only wearing this one and did not end up wearing this one, or there was another one that I brought that I ended up not really wearing because it just so happened that I didn't end up needing to wear a dress the way I thought I was going to wear it. I only wore it like twice. One time I just wore without any kimono, and then one time with this one, and then this one here. And then my bathing suit, and then another pair of compression stockings. So I would recommend this if you're trying to get more clothes and you're finding it doesn't fit. It was comfortable enough to have on the plane. So it's a little awkward when, you know, you're first getting on the plane, and I was like, where am I going to put this? And then I had an extra nano little bag where I ended up just putting this inside that bag so that it didn't get dirty on the floor, and put that under the seat. So I think I have one of the nano bags here that I can show you. Basically, it's a fold up, tiny little bag that folds very, very small, and then it turns into a reusable sling that fits something large in it. So this definitely is something I would recommend. And it was very comfortable. I did put it around my neck, especially when I was trying to sleep on the way there, even though I wasn't able to, but it really was nice. I'm glad that I had it. And yeah, these things really stayed in here and like ended up in that tote the majority of the time, but I was happy to still have it because I would have been upset if I needed it and didn't have it. Okay, so now next will be to show you the carry-on and how that was packed. So for this, I used the Monos, I don't know how to say it, the regular carry-on. I really liked this. So it was very lightweight. I didn't overstuff it. Well, I did overstuff it on the way there, but having, again, so I guess my tip is to, force everything in for that carry-on to get there. And then on the way home, when you're not worried about your bag being lost, it is nice to have, to be able to check it on the way home. Okay. So hopefully we'll be able to see everything here. Monos has this really great compression on this side where when you load everything up, it can press down pretty well. I think on the way there, I packed my pajamas in here flat. I can't remember now. Okay, but what I ended up doing, when I was packing for this trip, I tried to use compression cubes. I have bought so many and I do love them, but the outfits I would bring was mostly linen and things that were gonna get more wrinkled. And the folding just wasn't working. And in the end, this Eagle Creek packet was great. I used this for, I think, a trip to London several years ago when it was a winter trip where I had to pack a lot of sweaters, and this compressed things pretty well. So I remembered I had this, so I did try this for this trip, and it was great. So I definitely recommend this, especially if you have thicker clothes or clothes that you think will wrinkle. Keep this in because it tells you how to do it. And I really did think the outfits I picked were pretty good. So I was happy. So that's kind of why I want to share this. So I had a pair of black linen wide leg pants from Old Navy. Another, I think mostly I had Old Navy stuff because it's all about layers for these types of countries where it can be hot and then it can get cold and then it can rain. So you want to have a mix of materials. So tank tops were great underneath all of these things too. So this was just another white cotton short sleeve Old Navy top. And again, the idea was for everything to match. This was an off-white Old Navy tunic. This one was more of an off-white. A black, almost the same top. This is a black tunic, and again, I would wear like usually sometimes a short sleeve under this or a tank, or sometimes the merino wool if it was a cooler day and it was a nice layer thin material. This olive green one, which is it's almost the same kind of shirt. This is one of the Old Navy boyfriend shirt, which obviously, I have everything inside out, but this is the big boyfriend shirt where you could wear any kind of shirt underneath, and this is more, it could feel like a jacket, it could be like a cover up. And then a pair of linen blue and white ones. And these are all the ones that I fit inside here. And I think there might have been another one, but I'm not sure. But then for the rest, okay, I have some presents in here I'm not gonna share. These were great. So these are Columbia waterproof, wider leg, or boot cut, I should say, black pants. These can kind of look almost dressy if you have, or casual. I ended up wearing these a lot. They're very thin, they're waterproof, so when it rains, they dry very quickly. So some of the boat rides and different things where I knew that, or if it was gonna be raining, I ended up like wearing these a lot, and they were super comfortable. I had these also for Scotland, and they were great for Scotland as well, but I found myself even wearing them more on this trip. Another pair of pants that were brand new to me, from Athleta, the Brooklyn ankle pant. These were also super thin, super comfortable. These are navy, and they are more of a thin, I don't know what you call this, right? Tapered a little bit, but not straight leg. the idea was, all the people I watch, is to buy clothes in case they get dirty, that you can wash them. They're going to dry quickly overnight in a hotel if you had to do like sink laundry if you didn't have enough. I did do sink laundry one night when I knew I had 2 nights, and one of the hotels had one of those like heated drying racks. And so I just did like socks and undies. I didn't actually have to like wash any of these clothes because they really didn't get dirty. And I had enough where I didn't really have to rewear too much. But these were super comfortable, and I wore these a couple times in some of the white tops. In here are a pair of black flats. I did bring 3 pairs of shoes. So I brought a black pair of athletic, they're Vessies, they're waterproof sneakers, and those I wore on the plane. These are a pair of black Vionic flats that I've had for a long time, but they're great for like a dress, or if you're gonna wear, you know, just something. I mean, they look pretty beat up right now, but these were really good, and they pack down pretty light. I ended up like putting like underwear and little things like this. These were like extra, more in the side pack with the bars, because the compression cubes were just taking up too much room and I couldn't fit everything. So that really worked out. I always bring an extra pair of eyeglasses in case something like broke, so that was over here. I brought duct tape. I didn't use it. This was a nightlight. I didn't use this either, but it did fit in here. This is another little case that this was so pretty. And I did have this, I think in the backpack on the way there. On the way home, I knew I wasn't gonna need this on the way home. But this basically is where I just keep like a kit. This is like a mirror that you could use. And then in here, you know, for looking at the back of your hair, I have like some vanity, you know, tweezers, things like that in here, and that also is for the mirror. So I find that important to have on a long trip. So when I had this cute little case that it fit in. So that was everything on this side. And it was even more stuffed, I want to say, with everything I just showed you. So in the other bag, I think that what I didn't show you is a pair of capri leggings, like of a thicker, very comfortable material, and a green Lane Bryant shirt. You probably want to see what that looks like. I'm thinking of some other things. That's in here. And this t-shirt was good because it has like it was just a plain t-shirt, but it has this like kind of pretty back. So sometimes it looked different when I had something underneath, but it was good because I could wear it with like those Columbia pants. I could wear it with like sweatpants. And then these were the leggings, just capri leggings. These were good to put on like in the morning before, like to go down to get breakfast or get a cup of coffee before coming back up to the room to shower. So that kind of became my like go downstairs uniform. This and like maybe a black t-shirt or something. In here I also had, I think I brought 2 black t-shirts that I often wore for layers. Okay, and then let's see, what do I pack in here? This was, I packed one of these clear bags with some laundry dryer sheets and some laundry things that I ended up not using those. I used the Tide sink ones instead. Oh, this is a gift. I'm not gonna share. And, okay. All right, so then on the other side, oh, things are bursting out over here. Okay, so I have some gifts in here that, again, I don't really want to put on camera. But again, I did want to bring, you know, when you get gifts, you want to make sure, that's why I made sure to bring a lot of like extra fold-up bags. I got the zipper caught here. Knowing I might need to buy stuff and bring stuff home, and then home I would be checking things. So I did go with the intention of carry on the way there, knowing I would need to be checking things on the way back. Okay, all right, so on this side, so this sweater, I highly recommend. I actually didn't wear a ton, and I like to pack things inside out on the way home. But this is a Land's End cashmere sweater, and this was a good layer because it's very light. It did kind of pack thick, but you know, this was the only sweater other than the cashmere cardigan that I brought. And the cashmere cardigan is, I should actually show you the color, you might be interested, because it does kind of match with everything else. This was a couple seasons ago, but it's gray, heather gray, I think, with a little black specks, but it went with everything. It was a great layer for like the airplane and the bus. you know. One day I wore it under my raincoat because it was a little chilly and I had a lighter layer, but by the end of the day, all that, it was warm, so that you took that off. But this sweater was great to have. Okay, tank tops. I had two white tank tops, a little different, but these were really important layers for under those light shirts. So those were good to have. I had a pair of merino wool shorts that I would wear either to sleep sometimes, but under my dress. So I had a merino wool, where is that packed? So this is from, I forget where I got this merino wool dress, but it's a long dress. This one is from Wool X because they have plus sizes. And it is a long, kind of like right above to my ankle dress. And so you could see it's just that style with the, I forget what you call this, but it has pockets, so it was great. And you know, with merino wool, the idea is that you could wear it a few times. It doesn't smell, it absorbs anything, you know, I don't know. But it packed nice and it doesn't wrinkle. So I think that's also pretty good. I had two merino bras, one beige one black. The black I wore on the way home. Okay, and then I have a few more gifts in here. This is a a black tank top, one that has some like lace on it. So this, you know, when you wear this long, it's kind of long. So when I wore one of those other tops, this would kind of, I don't know if it dressed it up or not, but it's a nice, soft, comfortable layer. This is an Old Navy tee. It was a crop top tee because I knew I wasn't, and by crop top, it was still, it wasn't really crop on me because I wore it with that boyfriend shirt and with those other pants that I showed you. I thought I would wear this. I actually only wore this once, but it was good to have for a layer. And I think, oh, that's it. And then, oh, the last thing. So then my other, in here, so I packed another pair. These came in really good handy. So these are the Bionic white sneakers. I think they're called Winnie. These were wonderful. I was really happy to have these. I ended up like, these were comfortable to walk in. Like I said, the vesties were really good too. They're right over there. Let me just show you. I'm not so professional with this, but so these are the vesties that another influencer I watched recommended. They're waterproof and they really are. Like when it was raining, and even though like rain was getting on these, like I never felt wet. My socks, I had packed all, not in these because I wore these on the plane, but I had packed all of my socks inside here and then in some of the other parts. Right now all the socks are dirty though, and in that laundry bag. And then that's it. And like I said, I have some gifts over here in that. So that is all of the outfit I wore on the plane. I also wore some versions. So on the plane, I wore a pair of the Skechers leggings with like a wide leg, but they have like 2 pockets in the back, 2 on the side, which are really great for traveling when you have to move quick to put your passport somewhere. I also use a passport belt that to the plane. I wore a black kind of a long sleeve shirt with like a white stripe. It's a very comfortable one I got years ago at Marshall's. And then I wear a tank top under it and then that belt, and then I keep my money in there and all that. But then that quick thing when you're putting your stuff on the conveyor belt, you know, you're putting your passport quickly in your pocket, so having the side pockets. But I also had the vest, so that vest has so many pockets. And that, you know, is very helpful too. Now, the vest, like I said, was good and it's warm to have and it's not fashionable. But I've worn it a couple times now on a couple plane rides and it really is handy. But what happens is when you have things in the pockets, you're just getting wider and wider and it gets kind of heavy. So on the way home, I actually didn't put as many things in the pockets because it can get uncomfortable. But if you overpack it, which I did. But on the way home, I didn't need to. But I would still say it was worth it. Like I said, in the back, and even right now in the back, in this big pocket, I have the fold-up backpack, which, because I just want to show you, like, they even have pockets that big that would fit that. So in this back pocket of this vest was a fold-up tripped backpack that I used every day on the trip. And it folds small like this. and opens up, and it was just great. Used it all the time. And it has a place for your water bottle. It had lots of little pockets inside. And again, like I said, I used it every day in my hotel. And then when I was like loading up the bus or wherever we were going, like this would be the thing that would go on the bus, and everything I needed for the day would be in here. And then I would also, you know, have my crossbody that I would make sure had room to fit in here. And then along with my raincoat, because that had to come every day. And it was great. It was a great trip. I'm pretty proud of myself for the packing, because I do think it worked out. I still wish I had less, which was what everybody says, but I really couldn't say what I wouldn't want, because even the things I didn't use, I'm still glad I had, because I don't want that feeling of like, you know, I can't go swimming because I didn't bring my bathing suit, right? So yeah. So hopefully this is helpful to you. It's also going to be helpful for me, because I'm going to want to remember what I did, so I could rewatch this. If I learn how to do it, because this is going to be my first video, I will try and put the names of the links of the YouTube pages of the people I have followed over the last 2 years, where almost every idea I had gotten from them. And then they have links where I followed, and then they get some commission for if you buy some of the things on Amazon. So yeah, so that is that, and happy travels, and we'll see ya. Bye.